What's going on, guys? Back here again with another episode of Mornings with Baris. And today's episode 14, I believe, right? 10-4. Yeah, it should be 10, it should be 14. All right, and today's episode is going to be about keep going. Keep going, okay? We need to keep going. And actually, this might actually apply to me too today, because today I'm kind of in a we'll call it, I'm kind of in a mood, all right? But no big deal. I'm gonna show you guys how to keep going, and I can use that too, all right? But before we start all that, as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, before we even begin what we're talking about, I like to do a couple rounds of this breathing technique, right? Just to make sure, because most cases, you know, when we first get up in the morning, a lot of us, well, first off, if you're watching this, it should be morning because this is Mornings with Baris, but wherever you're at, it might not be morning time. Anyway, we start the segment with a couple rounds of breathing technique, because most of us, when we wake up, we're either like stressing about yesterday's problems, or we're stressing about tomorrow's problems, or we're stressing about later today's problems. Okay, so to not let any of that affect what you might learn from this video, I want to go ahead and relax your mind. I want you to go ahead and do these breathing techniques with me that'll center your attention back to where it needs to be. Back to where it needs to be, okay? Which is the present, okay? Not in the future, not in the past, not later today, but right now. Because all that matters right here, right now, is you watching me, you listening to me, picking up the information that I'm putting down, okay? So, first of all, just go ahead and loosen yourself up, you know? Go ahead, crack some bones, whatever you gotta do, okay? And we're gonna do 3 of them. And the first one, before you take your first inhale, you're gonna exhale everything in you. Okay, just exhale everything in you, and then you take that first deep breath, okay? You're gonna breathe in for about 3 to 5 seconds. You're gonna hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you're gonna breathe out for another 3 to 5 seconds. That's one set. We're gonna do that 3 times, okay? So, now that we get that out of the way, go ahead, exhale everything in you. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. Hold it. All right, last one. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. You should feel a little bit a little calmer, all right? If you feel lightheaded, you probably did it kind of faster than what you needed, or maybe you took in too much air. So try to take in less air next time. Try to do it, you know, a little bit slower, okay? But if you do need more than that, go ahead and pause the video right now. Okay, now push play, all right? Now we can get back to it. So, today's topic, keep going, okay? No matter what happens, no matter what you're going through right now, no matter what you're about to go through, no matter what has happened before this, keep going, okay? Keep going. You only lose if you stop, all right? Just think about it. If you never stop, if you never quit, eventually you'll have to get to wherever you're going. Think about it like this. Let's say I'm walking from the east side of the United States to the west side of the United States, right? When I start on the east side, just walking, you know, a million things can happen. We got so many miles ahead of us from the east to the west. A million things can happen in the way, right? Let's say I'm walking and I don't know, I break my leg. So now I'm hopping. Yes, it sucks, but you just keep going. It doesn't matter if I lost the leg, right? It doesn't matter. As long as I keep going, as long as I don't stop, if I just keep going, I'll get there. Yes, it might be harder. Yes, it might take longer, but I'm still gonna get there, right? That's how we have to look at everything in life, okay? Yes, that's a kind of stupid example, but you get what I'm saying, right? You gotta keep going. You only fail if you lose. I mean, you only lose if you stop. If you keep on going, you're gonna have to get there. It might not be tomorrow, it might be next year, but you are going to get there. That's a fact. Just don't stop. Okay? Well, how do I not stop, Baris? It's easier said than done. Yes, it's easier said than done. Stay focused on your goals. You need to have tunnel vision. Okay? There's a reason. When you started this whole new journey you're starting, right? This whole new path you're walking in life, or whatever it is. Maybe you're trying to accomplish something. You're trying to reach a certain a level at work or whatever. Whatever it is, whatever goals you have that you're working towards, you need to stay focused on them. Whatever started you, whatever made you start working towards these goals and accomplishments, you need to keep that in your mind at all times. Maybe it was a situation you went through. Maybe it was a feeling you felt. Maybe somebody did something to you. Maybe you did something to somebody. Whatever the reason is, that made you want to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm just going to do what I need to do. I'm tired of feeling like the way I was feeling. I'm tired of everything that was going on. Whatever made you make that change, you need to keep that in your head at all times. That is the reason why you started, right? That's your why. Why did you start? Because of this negative situation. Okay, so when you're working, and then all of a sudden something happens and now you're knocked down or you're knocked back a couple steps, you need to go back in your brain, go back in your memory bank, and remember that negative situation. Your why. Remember your why. Why did you start? Remember that. Bring that back and use that to keep going forward, okay? Keep tunnel vision on it. Say no to everything else. Just freaking put the blinders on like horses, right? The race horses they put blinders on so they don't look at anything else. They just look forward and they just keep going. That's what you need to have, okay? If you're overwhelmed, start small. Okay, small wins will help your confidence stay up. Look, a lot of us, we feel like, oh, if we're trying to make a big change in life, if I'm trying to get to a big place, I'm trying to become a big person in whatever way you're talking about. A lot of us, we feel like, damn, we need to do the biggest thing. I need to do the most extravagant thing. Oh, I want to be a millionaire. I can't worry about working at McDonald's. I can't worry about working at Home Depot. These are just random, by the way. I need to become a lawyer or some kind of stockbroker. Listen, if you keep putting all these big things on your plate, do you think you're going to be able to handle it? You couldn't handle, and this is no disrespect, this is no offense, but just keep it real. You couldn't handle the little food that was on this plate, right? You were stressing about the little food that was on your plate. You were stressing about that little food so much that when you lost that little food that you had or someone took it away from you, you were like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I want a big plate. I need to have some big 5-star meals. So you went from this, even though you couldn't handle it, to this, right? And then you put all this food on here. So now look at it. I'm doing this so you can see it. You went from this, not being able to handle this little plate, to now you're trying to handle this big old plate. You see what I'm saying? Now, and then you wonder why you feel overwhelmed. Listen, you don't have to do the biggest thing. You don't have to be the biggest name. You don't have to make the biggest noise if you're trying to do something big. Small wins matter, okay? If you feel overwhelmed, start small. Start small. You don't have to start big. Start small. So that way you get the confidence you need to get, right? Because if you go for the head honcho, you're trying to tackle your biggest, most wildest accomplishment first, that's on your list. You're trying to tackle the big one first. You're going to go to it. Let's say you fail it. Now you failed that. Now you're miserable. You're self-pity and all these negative feelings. Now you're not even going to have the courage, or you're not even going to have the want to go and do the little things. Okay? Start small. Start at the bottom. Knock out a couple little things. Knock out like 5 of the most basic goals that you have. Knock those out, because that'll make 2 things happen. 1, you're knocking the goals out, and 2, you got those couple wins under your belt, right? And it boosts your confidence, just like a boxer in the ring. If you're brand new to boxing and this is your first match ever, are you gonna go against Kimbo Slice? You guys might not know who Kimbo Slice is, but he was like a street fighter from like Miami, Florida, right? You don't just go in and go to Kimbo Slice. You start small. You start at the lowest level of the bracket, right? And then you knock those guys out, and then you knock this guy out, and then you're ready for the big one. That's how we gotta be with our goals too. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you cannot tackle the biggest thing, there's nothing wrong with that. Go back, start small, okay? That way your confidence gets built up, and then you can knock out the big things. Focus on one task at a time. Pace yourself. Take breaks. Know your limits. Okay? Don't get burnt out. Look, listen. Like I just said, that just goes back to what I just said. You don't have to do the biggest thing. You don't have to do the most amazing, multiple freaking accomplishments to get to where you want to be. You don't have to do the biggest things. You can do a lot of little things. That way it'll equal up to one big thing, right? Because the little steps still add up. The little wins still add up to the bigger picture. So there's nothing wrong. And a lot of you might be trying to do like 5 things at once. If you can, do it. But a lot of you are not. You can't do it. And then you're wondering why you're so burnt out. You're overwhelmed. You're frustrated, and you have no energy, and you have no time to do this because you're trying to do so much at once. A lot of us think that the more, the better. No, that doesn't necessarily mean. Can doing more bring better? Yeah, it can, but it also cannot. Okay, it all depends on you. The best way to go about it, start small, right? But focus on one task at a time. Put all your energy, figure out which one is the most important or which one you can do the easiest. Put all your focus on that, get that done, and then you go on to the next ones, okay? If you can do 5 things at once, obviously go ahead. But don't lose yourself, okay? Trying to prove yourself. You don't have to do all that. Oh, shoot. Find someone who can hold you accountable. We tend to do better when someone's watching us or grading us, right? Or if we're gonna be judged, right? Find someone to hold you accountable. When I used to go to the gym, I used to go with with my cousins, right? That's how it started. So, we all go as a group. We're going, we're working out here at one cousin's house. We're working out another cousin's house in a gym, blah, blah, blah. It was great. But then, obviously, we started growing up. People started going their ways in life, right? So I could no longer be around them, right? To always go to the gym. I had 2 options. I can either just quit and not go to the gym, or I can go alone, right? And I didn't want to quit. I also didn't want to go alone, but going alone was better. So I started going alone, and it started sucking, right? And I started noticing myself, slacking off on my diet, slacking off on workouts, not doing cardio like I planned on doing. So you know what I had to do? I saw myself going back. I couldn't handle it. As basic as it was to just stay on schedule, especially since I've been so used to it my whole life, I couldn't stay to it. So you know what I did? I found a way for someone to hold me accountable. I started, reaching out to people online and being like, hey, I'll put my whole schedule up there. I'll put my whole workout routine up there. So that way online, right? On these, I think it was bodybuildingforum.com. I put it up there and I tell people, hey, I'm going to start this, just like logging it or whatever. And then that way people will be there. They're like, all right, we're ready to see the results. Just keep posting the pictures every week. So I did that. You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't go to anybody around me because at the time I didn't have anybody around me who cared enough to hold me accountable. And I didn't want to pay for a personal trainer. So I used my head and I did something as simple as that. That way, if I don't show up with those pictures every week, or if I don't come back with the final product, people are going to be blowing me up on that website. And then they're probably going to neg me, which makes your account go into the red because you said you would do something and you didn't come through with it. So you see what I'm saying? It kept me, it helped me be held accountable for my actions. That should, yeah. So to recap, guys, real quick. How to keep going. Stay focused on your goals, okay? You need to have tunnel vision. With so many distractions in the world, so many people want you to do this, do that. Hey, let's go to the park. Hey, let's go to the club. Hey, let's go here. Hey, let's watch Netflix. Hey. It's like people always want you, right? You never have time for yourself. You need to make time for yourself. Put up those healthy boundaries and be willing to say no to things that don't align with where you're trying to go, okay? Stay focused, have tunnel vision. If you're overwhelmed, start small. Small wins will help your confidence stay up. And they still matter. They still add up. Those wins, those small wins, they're on your list for a reason. You got to get them done anyway. Might as well get them done first to build your confidence up. Focus on one task at a time. Pace yourself. Take breaks. Know your limits. All right? Don't try to be showing off for everybody, trying to do a million things at once. Don't try to show off for yourself, trying to prove something to yourself that you don't even need to prove. Okay? The only thing that matters is the bigger picture. So if you're doing all this other stuff to make the bigger picture as small as possible, it's going to be small. Do things, all right, once at a time, one task at a time. Don't burn yourself out. Find someone who can hold you accountable, because we tend to do better when someone's watching us or grading us. You're going to slack off if you keep doing it to yourself. right? Some of you have never, you kept planning on starting a diet probably for like 5 years now. And actually 10 years have passed and you still haven't started that diet. Maybe you should stop lying to yourself. And I'm not trying to disrespect you, but get someone who actually like can hold you accountable. All right, we need to know ourselves. We need to know when we're lying to ourselves. Okay, we need to know when we're taking advantage of ourselves. Okay, find someone who will hold you accountable. That way you get your stuff done. Okay, and then you'll find a friend too, and then both of y'all probably can be like-minded and do things together, make things easier. Okay, bottom line, keep going. No matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, I don't care what just happened, I don't care what's about to happen, just keep going. Because if you don't stop, you can never lose. If you don't stop, you can never fail. If you don't quit, you'll never fail. Just keep going. If you don't know what to do next, go back and do what worked before. Okay? Do what worked before until you figure out what to do next. Okay? Just keep going. It really is. Just do it. Even if you can't give 100%, give 5%. Because anything is better than nothing. And in the end, with the bigger picture, it all adds up anyway. So it doesn't matter. All right, guys. So before we go out, what is it called? Oh, we do our little dancing, right? For the ones who don't know, we go ahead and we shake off all that negative energy. You know, we go ahead and get our blood pumping so that all the positive stuff we just took in from this video, right, in our head, it's gonna make its way down and it's gonna freaking go into the rest of our body. All right, and that's how we do it in a positive way. And you do a dance that just makes you happy. I don't care how it looks. I don't care what it looks like, what it sounds like. Just do something. All right, do something. This whole thing is just to get you to do something different, all right? Because what you were doing before clearly wasn't working, or it's not working as good as you wanted to, as well as you wanted to. So I'm giving you something new, okay? Positive thoughts at all times, guys. Stop playing yourself. Keep God first, your heart in the right place. You will always win, okay? Yes, you can. You got this, baby. Keep going.